Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we tear through the source material so you can get right to the knowledge. Today, we are looking at, well, a massive operational crisis that struck India's largest airline, IndiGo, in early December 2025. We're talking about a sudden, system-wide shockwave. Hundreds of canceled flights, delays, just chaos.
It was more than just a shockwave. It was a full-on operational collapse. I mean, IndiGo is famous for its punctuality, its on-time performance. The OTP is usually up there, above 80%.
Right, that's their whole brand.
Exactly. But then on Tuesday, it just crashed to 35%.
35.
And that was just the start. The next day, Wednesday, December 3rd, it absolutely plummeted to a shocking 19.7%.
Wow, under 20%.
Yeah. And to put a human face on it, passengers were stuck for up to 10 hours. Over 500 flights were canceled in just 2 days.
Okay, let's unpack this. The official explanation pointed straight to a crew shortage, and that shortage was blamed on new safety regulations, something called the Revised Flight Duty Time Limitation Norms, FDTL.
FDTL, exactly. And this is critical because it's all about managing pilot fatigue. These new rules were meant to make flying safer.
And they came from a court direction, I believe.
That's right. But they radically changed how you could schedule pilots. A couple of key things. The weekly rest period for pilots was increased to 48 hours, up from 36.
Okay, that seems significant but manageable.
It is, but here's the real operational devastation. Night landings. They were severely restricted, cut from 6, which was the previous limit, down to just 2.
2 from 6.
Just 2. And they also extended what counts as night hours. That one change basically severed their ability to run those quick late-night turnaround flights. It just grounded hundreds of planes.
But hold on, these rules applied to every single airline in India. So here's the real question. Why was IndiGo, the industry leader, hit so much harder than everyone else?
And that is where this whole story shifts from being about regulation to, really, a strategic failure. The analysis all points to two things. IndiGo's massive scale, we're talking over 2,200 daily flights, and their famously lean model.
High aircraft and crew utilization. They run a tight ship.
A very tight ship. But when you run an operation with sort of zero slack, even a small change like this requires a huge number of extra staff that you just don't have.
They had no buffer.
Precisely. No buffer at all. In fact, IndiGo actually admitted to the DGCA, the Aviation Authority, that they had, and this is a quote, misjudgment and planning gaps.
Oh, they admitted it?
They did. But the Federation of Indian Pilots, the FIP, they went much further. They leveled some sharp criticism, saying this was the direct result of IndiGo's prolonged and unorthodox lean manpower strategy.
What does that mean exactly?
It means they think IndiGo did this to themselves. For every 100 pilots they needed before, the new rules meant they suddenly needed, say, 110. The Pilot Association alleges this gap was created by a deliberate hiring freeze and a pay freeze, even though they had a full 2-year window to prepare for these changes.
2 years? Wow. Okay, so the regulators must have come down hard on them.
Oh, absolutely. The Civil Aviation Minister expressed clear displeasure. The DGCA sent inspectors into the terminals, like Delhi's T1, and found that IndiGo's ground staff was completely overwhelmed, totally inadequate for the chaos.
So what's the plan? How do they fix this?
Well, they were forced to give a roadmap. Starting December 8th, they're going to have to scale down their flight operations.
Got flights. That's gotta hurt.
It's painful, yeah. You risk market share, you damage trust. But they have to. Their goal is to have normalized and stable operations back by February 10th, 2026. Until then, they've actually asked for some exemptions from the new rules for their A320 fleet.
So at the end of the day, what we're seeing is this classic conflict, right? Mandated safety rules clashing with a business model built on relentless efficiency. The FDTL was just the spark.
It was. The real tinderbox was the failure to staff up over 2 years. And this raises a really provocative question because the pilot associations, they didn't just complain. The FIP actually urged the DGCA to start reallocating IndiGo's flight slots to other airlines like Air India or Akasa who were better staffed.
Taking away their routes.
Exactly. So here's the thought to leave you with. If regulators start taking away market share based on an airline's crew readiness, not just fines, but their actual slots, does that permanently change the way budget airlines have to operate? Not just in India, but, globally.